Well, now, how many times have you been told, hey, this is not how we do our things here? I mean, seriously, well, this is the procedure that we usually follow. You do this, you do the other. Actually, if you do that, you're going to be different from the majority. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do this. This is the procedure that we follow and all those kind of things. Let me tell you one secret. If you want to succeed in this life, you have to go against the majority. And let me just shock you with some of the statistics actually that are out there. Do you know what they say? Over 85% of human beings are actually ready to do what? They are ready to follow. They are not creators. So if you struggle and you are trying the best as you can to fit in, and by the way, let me just shed a little bit of light for you to understand this. If you look at the society in large quantity, you actually realize that most of the people try as much as they can to fit in, not to appear as if they're extraordinary, just to fit in, to appear as if they're doing the things. Like you can actually go ahead and predict the life and norm of the society. For example, if you are born, you're expected to go to kindergarten. After the kindergarten, you go to primary level, the secondary level, you go to the university. After university, everyone is looking at you, they're asking you, hey, you're done with school, what are you doing? You're supposed to get married or marry. The earlier you can, the better. Immediately you get married, then they ask you, hey, you better get kids as early as you can, the better, and all those kind of things. Once you get one, having one kid is not okay. Get two, get three. It's like there is sort of, a certain laid strategies, laid norm for you that you're supposed to carve in or you're supposed to follow for you to do the things. And guess what will happen? It's okay. Congratulations. You're gonna be a peer, not extraordinary, but just as an average and normal as everyone else. And guess what? Whenever it comes to being successful, whenever it becomes to be being unique and succeed in this life, you ought to be, or you have to kick in what we call the comfort. You have to eradicate that what we call the comfort, all right? And you have to eradicate that what we call the average, because average don't make great people. That's for a fact. These are the things that you're supposed to do. And the other thing is supposed to be what? Normal. You see, when you combine those three things, this is actually the ingredients, or should I say recipe. This is a recipe to failure. That's for a fact. Nobody can never lie to you. When you actually are out there, you're just average, you are normal, you have the comfort and all those kind of things. And that's why you find people doing some of the things that are not even comfortable doing them. Somebody's trying to force some things down your throat, and according to your own, say financial muscle, you're not even ready to do that. How many people usually complain and say, hey, I really wish I knew. If you take me back to 20 years, I am telling you I can do things differently. I won't do exactly what I did out there. Even some of our parents sometimes tend to complain. So the reality is this, and this is the topic of this discussion, is that go against the majority, and that is the simplest way to actually achieve the success. And what is you see, for you to go against the majority, you have to understand what the majority does. And this is a very typical way the majority usually do their things. Number one, go get a job. Once you get a job, what do you get? You get a salary, all right? Once you get a salary, what are you supposed to do with the salary? Cater for your what? You cater for your needs, okay? Once you cater for your needs, what are these? This is your rent, this is your food, this is your entertainment, this is your black tax if you have to pay them, this is your tax, this is your blah, 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 and all those kind of things. When you do exactly this and you follow the normal or the normality, then at the end of the day, people tell you, now you're doing the right thing because you're appearing as the others. Now, the point is this. What are you supposed to do and go against this majority of the people for you to be successful in this specific life? When I say go against them, I don't mean go rubbing shoulders with them, or simply what I mean is this: identify what they are doing and then go against it. Number one, realize one thing. Majority of the people talk about savings, okay? Talk about savings. Majority of the people talk about insurance, to insure yourself, to ensure that the future is okay, the future is secured, and all those kind of things. And that's why you find these insurance people, they're all over the place selling you all these insurances, telling you they're supposed to do this for the sake of future. You know nothing about it. They just play around with your psychology and what have you. Most of the people don't talk about what? Investment. Talk about what? Investment. And for you to actually go ahead and be able to achieve exactly this, you're not only supposed to save, but you're supposed to invest that what your savings. Never forget that savings has never made. We do not have any track record that has ever made somebody rich. What we do is that we save, and then the savings, we invest the savings to get the passive money. Now it becomes the passive money, the passive income plus that what you get active income. The two of them combined, that what makes you what? Financially free. Okay, the financially free, what does it mean? You really don't have to worry about paying your bills and all those kind of things. So for you to go against the norm and for you to do things differently, for you to realize success, you have to stand out of your comfort zone. They tell you, if you're earning 70,000, live a life that is 70,000. Don't punch above your weight, of which I still agree. But where I don't agree with them is that the only thing that is supposed to look is two things. Number one, look for ways on how you can actually make more than that 70K that you're earning at the end of the month. If you do not have a way at a hand at that particular moment, then live below your means, get the difference between that what you've saved, invest the difference, and that's how now you create another extra in terms of your passive income, and that's how you supplement, that's what you're getting from the active income, and that's how you actually get yourself on the track towards the destination, what we call the financial what? The financially freedom. Exactly. Now, what does it mean? It means, and let me tell you one thing, these are the consequences that you're gonna get once you go against the norm. Okay, number one, because there are consequences, that's what you're supposed to understand. A, that you're gonna appear as if you're what? As if you're insane. That's for a fact. Number two, you're gonna appear as if you're what? You're disturbing the norm. You're disturbing the norm, and probably you're gonna actually rub shoulders with the laws and norms and customs and all those kind of things. By the way, if I tell you one thing, I received a call yesterday and somebody told me he is in debt, but he cannot be able to sell the cows and the goats that he has. And I asked why. And the guy told me, according to our norms and customs, I cannot do that because I will go against the norms and customs. The way we take animals is quite different from you guys, how you take it. The beauty of us having animals, just having them within our compound, and that's how we do our things. There is no problem, and I'm not saying anybody should go against their culture, but the fact is remains to this. We were supposed to subdue and transform this world and make it better for our own lives. That's for a fact. And if you're looking at the goats and cows as pets, not as a commodity that you can actually liquidate, make some cash out of it, then I bet whatever you are holding on to, it is not really the best thing you can do, because you're suffering, but you have the ability to go ahead and sell that commodity so that at least you can get yourself into what we call the financially free. And guess what? This is the thing that actually results to people conflicting. Have you ever heard in Kenya people fighting about cattle raiding and all those kind of things? It is because of viewing those commodities or viewing those animals from that lenses. If you view them from that lenses, then you're gonna get yourself into lots of problem. And this is the problem when we say, if you do things according to what the culture, the norm, the expectations are doing, you're supposed to be out there respectively. Respect everyone. Don't go out there and try to I sort of push things down their throats and tell them they're stupid. No, you aren't supposed to do that. Respect everyone, but you have to stand out of the norm and do things differently from what the majority are doing. Now, these are some of the names that they're gonna give you. They're gonna tell you are out of your senses. They're gonna tell you, hey, guess what? You're becoming disruptive in these norms and whatever, and the customs, and you might even rub shoulders and all those kind of things. So the point is this: if you can embrace all these things, I'm pretty sure that you can be able to do something. Let me just give you a little bit of myself. When I graduated, because I'm a graduate, honestly, from a university, and a lot of people were expecting, hey, you know what, because now you've graduated, now the best thing that you're supposed to do, and actually what we expect you to do is go out there, look for the jobs, apply for them, and all those kind of things. Yeah, I did apply for them. Actually, I used to apply like 3 jobs per day and all those kind of things, and welcome to Kenya. I'm not saying they're not jobs, but they are inadequate, and they're available ones are actually given on the basis of who do you know. Okay, and unfortunately I didn't know somebody who knows somebody who has a job, so it means that I didn't get myself lucky in terms of jobs and what have you. So I had to rethink of myself, or what exactly I can be able to do to substitute that what I understand. But once you try to do, imagine telling your parents, hey, guess what, I want to be a content creator. First of all, nobody knows even what's a content creator. I want to be making videos and put them on the internet. They think that you'll be making funny videos and all those kind of things. And even if they are funny, there's no problem you posting funny videos, provided they are paying your bills and all those kind of things. See, now this is kind of the norm that people hold on to. They are so much rigid. By the way, this is another thing that you're supposed to understand. The norm and the custom, they are so much rigid. They are so much rigid because you find these guys, this is a thing that has been transferred between them or through them using ages and ages. So trying to twist the way they think and trying to show them there is a loophole where you can be able to do some things and do it differently and gonna pay some bills, they never get satisfied. I had another client who called me and told me, hey, guess what, Joseph? I consider myself successful where I am right now. Obviously, I've achieved way a lot. This could have not been achieved if I got myself a conventional job. But guess what? My parents are not okay. They're not satisfied. They're still feeling like, hey, I should have gone back, to me getting a conventional job, get employed, get all those entitlement and what have you. They still cling to this old mentality. You must have to get a job. And by the way, get my point. I saw a certain post here, rather a comment, somebody telling me, hey Joseph, you're always against the boomers. No, I love them, those are our parents. But the point is this: the world is changing, it is transforming, things are becoming different. Nowadays there are some people who are doing their online businesses, they're selling their commodities online, they don't have a physical shop. Sometimes I get people asking me, Joseph, where is your office? I tell them, you're calling me, you're already in my office. Come on, this is my office, you're already in. Nowadays we do things, most of the things we do them virtually and all those kind of things. Oh, anyway, the point is this: the moment you try to do things differently from the majority, from the society, from the norm, you tend to rub shoulders with them. Or what you can be able to do, don't show them they're stupid. No, hold on to whatever you believe on. Right now, when I started making content, they thought I was a joker and all those kind of things. Even if you tell them, subscribe to my channel, do this, no, they hardly even do that, because they think like you're losing the way and you're actually getting lost. Not until when you become successful and the things are turning okay and they're like, what? When they start seeing you on TVs and start seeing you on radio, or rather hearing you on radios and what have you, they are like, what? Kume, that thing was to be that serious. That's the time now they start, bringing you, their kids and telling you, hey, advise them, show them the way. I have a graduate, he's confused or she's confused. She don't know what she's doing and all those kind of things. So guys, if you out there and you're really trying the best that you can to make sure that at least you become successful in the future, go against the norm. Go against the norm. Do those things that people don't do in your locality, don't do in your society. That is the only way you can realize success. That is the only way. Because let me ask a question. If I ask a very simple question, from where you sit or from where you come from, whichever the place. Now, I want you to go out there and count the number of people whom you consider successful or rich or wealthy. Vis-a-vis, count those people whom you consider them unfortunate. And ask me, or rather ask yourself, between the two, who are the majority? Now, if you go by the majority, then it means that you're going to be where the majority are. So you have to do things that the majority... So just look what they are doing. Now that's what they are doing, now do differently. There's no beauty in playing comfortable. There's no beauty in playing simple. There's no beauty in you being out there doing the things that they do. No, they have already experimented that thing. They have already shown you that it does not work. So then do things that are different. And that's why if you go back to Shago, that is up country, you realize some people go back, you've been spending a lot of time in town and you go back in Shago and you realize, oh my goodness, there are some of the opportunities that are out there I didn't know. Let's say this guy, they had like 3 or 4 acres. They were farming maize or corns, and then they were getting like several bags. And you're like, if we can substitute this maize and do some vegetables like gojet, like briganya and whatever, you do some greenhouses, you can invest like your $500,000 or 600,000. You get way more than what they're doing. They think like you're out of your senses. So the point is this: do differently from what they're doing, and then from there, that's how you get the different result. Because that's the way it is. It has never changed, and I'm not expecting it to change. You have to understand this. Most of the people tend to play normal, tend to be average, tend to do those exactly things that you don't expect them. And I'm going to leave you with this great quote. And by the way, you can check who the owner of this quote is, okay? All the credit to them. They say, when everyone thinks the same, then someone is not thinking. You're supposed to be very, very careful so that you don't get yourself or get trapped in that specific rabbit hole. Okay, so for now, it's a goodbye, and that marks the end of my video. But don't forget, if you're first time watching me, my name is Joseph, talk about money, investment, and anything related to exactly that. So if you don't want to miss any of my good videos, this is what you do. All right. Down below here, there is a small button written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button, like this video, and as well comment down below. And don't forget, you can as well grab my number from the description of this specific video. Get that number of mine, shoot me a call. I offer services pertaining to that for only a cup of coffee. I also have booklets about investments and all those kind of things for only 280 Kenyan shillings. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.